What's the deal? This is your boy Jason Mike, Mr. Athletico of everything. I just wanted to help you guys out who are starting off making your own clothing, starting your own apparel businesses and things of that nature. And I think this is one of the lessons that I wish I would have actually took heed to when I first started doing this over a year ago. Um, I came in, had all these ideas, different designs, and concepts that I wanted to actually put into play. And because I sold a shirt that I did not produce, I had it screen printed and it sold out. It was like 50 shirts. I sold them in a week. I'm like, all my shirt designs are going to work like this. So I went all in. Went to the local warehouse that we have here locally, and I literally bought every color shirt they had. Do not do this. To be perfectly honest with you, I was told by a company that I was sponsored by early on why they only use one to two colors, three tops. And the reason is most people only buy black shirts. Now, especially when you're talking about fitness, people don't buy gray shirts because if they're sweaty, it shows on the shirts and looks nasty. So gray shirts you typically won't find companies too eager to make. White shirts. White shirts get dirty in the process of making the shirt a lot of times. So making a pure white shirt is also kind of weird. The two color shirts that I see people going to more often are black and red. Those are two shirts that a lot of people have clothes to match, and the handling of the shirts can be a little more rough in the sense that you don't have to, if you look at a white shirt long enough, it'll get dirty. But to get back on what happened to me, I started making these shirts. I'll go to the local warehouse. I'm like, people are gonna rock with me, so let me go and buy every color size, every color, and every size run. So I would go and get extra small all the way up to 5XL. Then I started realizing once you pass 1XL, it's typically $1 upcharge for each X on a shirt. So I wound up spending way more money on these 3X's, 4X's, 5X's, and those people do not buy clothing. And that's what I found out. I thought bigger people would be more supportive in terms of I'm a professional power lifter. I'm a big guy, but also I'm built a little bit different than the normal 290, 300 pound guy. I'm muscular, whereas a lot of those bigger guys aren't so much muscular. So they're the dude who wears that same holy raggedy shirt all the time. And what I found is that the smaller guys, the ones who wear a large and a small, are the people who come back every time you drop a shirt. So you have to start thinking from the standpoint of who is buying your shirts. It's not about you, it's about who your market is. So I even realized something recently that I shouldn't even model my own clothing due to the fact that the people my size aren't the people who are buying my shirts. And once I did that, I started seeing sales through the roof. But that's a different video. But to get back to the shirt situation, when I first started out, I started out with this particular shirt here. This is a Gildan dry blend. Now these shirts are amazing. I fell in love with the shirt. I actually went to a meet and they gave us the comp shirt was made with this material. So I was like, you know what? I want my shirts made like this because over the years I've washed this shirt over and over again. The shirt still held its shape. It was a very nice, solid design shirt, and I'm thinking for powerlifters who are going to be wearing this shirt over and over again, they'll appreciate it. But what I found out is that the shirt isn't as flattering as a Bella Canvas shirt. So I actually switched to the Bella Canvas shirt, and the Bella Canvas is a thinner shirt, more fashion, like almost like the material of it is more sleek, more tapered. And this is the 3946 model, I think. And I found that that shirt I had more success with it, but I lost about $4,000 because I bought all those shirts in this style in different colors. If I would have just bought black, I would have been okay. I might have lost a couple of bucks, but it wouldn't have been $4,000 and $5,000. All those different color shirts did not really sell, and then I had to make a decision. I said, you know what? Do I keep making shirts or designs on shirts that people don't like? So I had to cut bait with this particular shirt, and I switched to the Bella Canvas. So what that meant is that I have a bunch of inventory that I no longer use, and it's taking up space in my garage warehouse. So if I would have listened to some of the information I received early on, the fact that the company that I was with, they said, hey, we might sell 10,000 of one shirt, and that'll be a black shirt. But then they tried the same thing with a blue shirt, and they only sold 500. And they realized, they started tracking this over a period of time, and they said shirts that are not black do not sell. So they stopped selling the shirts that weren't black. But then when you get to a certain point where you're so hot that you could put out anything and people will buy it just because it's a certain brand. And that's where I wanted to get to with my brand. I did not want to come in making shirts on a dollar gilding. I wanted to make a more boutique product. I wanted to use the best materials. I wanted to use the best quality garments that I could use to produce the type of apparel that I wanted to make. And in doing that, this past year, we sold about 300 units. And with the average cost of about $35 to $40, we actually did pretty well this year. So this approach works. There are some people that go, hey, get a cheap heat press, get a cheap cutter, get a cheap everything, and get started. But what happens is once you do that, it's kind of hard to go from selling a $10 shirt to a $40 shirt. So I started out on the higher end side, and I'm glad I did that. I initially tried to do the cheaper, heat press and vinyls and things of that nature. But once I realized I wanted to make a higher end product, I went and spent the extra money on $3,000 heat press and cutters and things of that nature. But that's a different video. But the moral to the story for this video is, when you start off your clothing company, you'll save yourself a lot of money by buying black shirts. Stick with the black shirt. Find the shirt that people in your demographic are going to buy. Whatever's popular in the space that you're in terms of types of the style shirt, if it's a soft cotton shirt or it's a thicker blended shirt, figure that out early on. And if you go in that direction, you'll save yourself a lot of money. So I hope this video was informational, and we're going to be doing a whole series on things that I learned my first year in the apparel business, and hopefully I can save you guys a lot of money. All right, guys, later.